Alright, here we go. Now, welcome to what I'm calling not a tutorial, because this is not a tutorial. This is just me showing my process, because a few of you on the page have asked to see how I draw my cats. So that's what we'll do. I've warmed myself up a nice beverage, which I realise is a stupid thing to do because I can't drink it because no one wants to hear me slurping a tea during the video. So I'll have a quick slurp, put it to one side, and we'll get on with it. So this here, we'll click on my cat folder. As you can see, we have a few cats. Why cats? I like them. They're funny. Well, there's one dog hidden there as well, but cats mostly. So let us stop jibber-jabbering and get open a new canvas. For this we will use this 4500 by 5400 pixels at 300 dpi. I'm not sure what any of that means, but it sounds professional, and I do know that it means that you can blow it up nice and big and it's not going to look terrible. Unless you draw really badly, then DPI is not going to help. Which is in my case. Sorry, I'm now blowing on my tea. I really should not have brought this tea in here. Okay, so cats. As I said, this is not in any way a tutorial on how to draw cats. This is just how I do it. So if anyone's watching this and goes, "Oh, what are you doing? You're not using proper shapes and forms and things." No, I'm not. Not a trained artist. Didn't go to art school, so apologies. If you are a trained artist, please don't watch this video. You will get nothing out of it. Alright, so I usually start with a sketch pencil. I use Peppermint, which is one that comes with... Oh, I'm using Procreate, by the way, on an iPad Pro. Screen recording, straight off the iPad Pro, and recording on my phone. I apologise for that. Probably the quality is not great. And I'm also having to charge my phone off a tablet, which is making a horrendous noise. So I'm hoping that's not coming through either. Really not very well prepared for this, but we'll push on. Wasted quite valuable time in talking nonsense. All right, so now a lot of people, professionals, use what we call reference. I'm not that sort of person. A bit more of a fly by the seat of your pants. A lot of people also go into their drawings with a plan. Also, not me. But anyway, let's push on, because you don't need to know that. All you want to know is how we draw a cat. So generally, I'll start with the head, which I do as this sort of oval shape. Actually, I know what we'll do. We will draw the classic cat sitting on the top of a sofa. So let's just quickly draw what could be called the back of a sofa. Could be called a back of a sofa. It's going to be very rough. We start extremely rough, although I'm going to ink this just so we've got a nice solid line for where the cat would sit. Terrible line, but hey presto. I'm sure everyone knows how to do that, so I'm not going to teach it. Well, all you got to do is just draw the line, then hold down. Okay, there you go. And you have a perfect line. A lot of people always comment on how wonderful my line work is, which is wonderful. I appreciate that, but I'm cheating because Procreate is just wonderful. Anyway, so that's the back of this awful sofa. There you go. Classify that as a sofa if you want. Make it a bit bigger. Pull it down a bit. There we go. So we're going to do the classic cat sitting on the back of a sofa because it amuses me. It makes me chuckle. And it's all about amusing yourself, I believe, when drawing. You've got to find it amusing. So let's start with the head, as I said. So head's going to go here, like this. Oval shape. And then what I usually do is they do the first leg hanging over the front. So let's just do a little pause. You'll see this is just so basic, right? There it is. That's the leg. Done. We have one leg. Now, obviously cats have four. We don't need to see all four for this particular angle, but we would be good to see one coming out just underneath the chin area there. So that's 2 legs. We have a 2-legged cat with no body and just a ball-shaped head. But he will progress into a beautiful feline. Okay, back leg, because we'll be able to see a back leg. Now the back legs are slightly different. If you look at a cat, which I have looked at a cat, I can't have any cats apparently because my wife is allergic to cats. So, and it's more expensive to get rid of her than to get a cat. So the back leg's a little bit longer. You get this front paw, which is a bit rounded, whereas the back feet tend to, because they use that to jump. It's got a bit more of a springy thing to it. As you can see, this is a highly technical, not a tutorial, disclaimer. Back foot. So we got this foot here at the front, back foot, head, and a back leg. So now what I like to do with the body is I like to over-exaggerate, because cartoons, I believe, it's all about over-exaggerating. I like to make these cats nice, big and fat, because fat things are funny. I better be careful, don't want to be cancelled. Fat things are amusing. Now, he's probably taking up a bit too much space here. This is why I love digital art, because we can simply shrink him down a bit so he fits on the page a bit better. There we go. All right, so there we have our basic shape for our cat. Now, let's work on the head. Ears are the next thing. Very straightforward. We just do some curved, like a V shape. Yeah, there's one here, another one over here. Oh, I don't know why that happens. Always, someone might be able to tell me why that just randomly goes onto the eraser. Don't know. Anyway, let's go back to our pencil. Second ear. Let's put that in. Now, what I like to do, just to give it a bit of depth, is just a bit of that there, so it's a bit more three-dimensional. We can do that for this one here. There you go. Very simple, very straightforward, like that. Now, another thing I like to do, because cats have the, I need to find a picture of a cat, don't I? We need a picture of a cat. This is ridiculous. Here we go. Here's some I prepared earlier. So, less said about cat, the musical, the better. Here we go. This is a good example of the shape of a cat. Oh, is it? Really should have had this pre-prepared. I might edit this part so you don't have to watch me scroll through endless photos of pretty kitties. Present company accepted. No, he's beautiful. All right. No, I think I just want to show you what I mean by what I'm about to do. See, now the shape of the head isn't perfectly round. It's almost like a, let's save this kitty, add to photo. Let's bring him into Procreate. I'm going to actually add him. I'm not going to use because I want to draw over the top of him. Add, insert a photo, pretty kitty, all the photos of my children. Okay, so let's have a look at this cat for a second here. So, if you see, he's got this, go away, you irritating fool. Okay, let's go on top of that. Let's make this maybe a nice pink colour. Alright, so there's our oval shape, right, for our cat's head. And you see, it sort of goes in this like triangle shape here. Right? See that? See what I'm saying? See that? Do you see that? Right? Okay. Now, that's all I wanted to show you, because what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that. We'll hide him for a second. We might get him back in a second. What I'm going to do, change the colour back to black, is I like to do this. I like to make this oval into a football shape. See that? Because they've kind of got these side chops. You can give it some hair there to give it a bit fuller look. Alright, so we're starting to do a little bit of a look of a cat now. Let me just fill those ears out. A lot of my work is done in the inking. You'll see I don't spend a hell of a lot of time, which is, again, a bad thing to do, is to not spend very much time in the sketch stage, because you can come a cropper through the drawing. But anyway, now these are called construction lines. I don't use them ever, unless I just want to place the features on the cat. So this is what real artists do. They use this, and they might even go, "Ooh, look, There's a 3, look, you do circles and make it look 3D. But that confuses me. So, your little cat nose. Now this is where you can have a bit of fun, obviously, because now we're drawing the facial expression of the cat. So you can do this so many different ways. So, the noses generally tend to be the same. You can just do that normal triangle. You can give him some nostrils if you want, so we can do this way. So he's got a few nostrils. 2 nostrils, and a line. Don't like that. I like my triangle, so I'll go back. Again, another reason I love digital art. Just undo. Okay. It's a big nose. We'll leave it as it is though for now. Now with the mouth, simple. It can be as simple as this for a mouth, like that. Simple as that. Or maybe you want him to have his mouth open, so we can again line straight down. Then we just do a little bit of a part like that. And what I like to try and do, I over-exaggerate the mouth sometimes. Just give him a nice big cheeky mouthy thing like that. And then we chuck in some chompers. I usually go for just the classic 2 fangs and a line that goes around like that. You can see I use a lot of technical terms. Sorry about that. If you can't, you can give him a tongue if you want. I'm not sure I'm liking this at the moment, but we'll persevere. This is the thing at the back, the tonsils, is it? I don't know. That's what that is. I sometimes put that in. Now we need the bridge. So let's go back to our kitty cat. Go away. So you'll see our kitty cat. See his face here. He's got his nose here, obviously, mouth. And now I do a bridge like that. You could go to the effort of doing this whole sort of thing here and, making it look real. But you don't need all that. All you just need is that simple line over there. Tells the whole story. Oh, I drew on the kitty cat. Sorry, kitty cat. Anyway, let's go back to our guy. Oh no, I drew on that layer. Anyway, I drew on the wrong layer, but that doesn't matter at all. So there's our line across there. Now eyes. Eyes is an interesting one. Now, you may have seen, if you've seen my artwork on the Facebook page, most of the time I'll do as simple as that. A couple of dots. Now it doesn't seem to fit the current look of this cat, just those dots. So we could do more of it looks like he's a bit more angry. So we can give him a bit of a brow and maybe more human-esque sort of eyes, sort of bigger eyes. And you're going to watch me here as I completely fail on what I'm trying to do. You should see the amount of trash that I draw before I find something that I actually like. It sort of works. Anyway, I'm not looking for perfection here. This is just so you get an idea of how we do this. So, it's a rough sort of head. It's a very rough head, only a mother could love. Let's go down to the paws now. You can do simple as that if you want. Obviously, that can be as simple as you want. I tend to like it giving a little bit more depth to these, so really fleshing out those cat fingers. Don't know what, I know it's a paw, but I don't know what these bits, but anyway. Usually that just gets a bit more character, so then with this one you might have one pop out the back. Again, it's just giving it a bit of depth. Excuse me. Coronavirus. I do not have coronavirus. I'll have a sip of my tea though. That's annoying, isn't it? Sorry. Okay. We'll do the same down here with this foot. Straight up like that. Bingo, bango, bongo. We've got a bit of a pretty kitty. Oh, kitty doesn't have a tail. Now, again, totally up to you how you want to do it. Some cats have big fluffy tails. That won't work. Well, they wouldn't be sitting. Oh, it could be sitting on his tail. It could be just Could he be sitting on his tail? I suppose so. No, let's not do that. Let's give him a tail that comes up, and we'll go for a thin tail, not a fluffy tail. There we go. Like he's been startled and he's quite angry that someone's going to disturb his nap. What are you doing? Okay, bang. There we go. We have a kitty. One kitty cat. So let's bring the opacity down on these layers. This is where we do the inking part. So I'm going through this very quick. As I said, not a tutorial, just so you can see the process. Tea. Now inking. For my inking brush, I used to use this brush set by BJ Dell. Great YouTube page if you get a chance to have a look at it. This is his starter pack. I used to use this standard inker all the time for everything. I just, hold on, what's going on there? Oh, I know what. You need this one here, bold inker streamline. No, this is what it was. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's a thing of beauty. So yeah, I used to use that all the time. Don't really use it at the moment. The one I'm really into at the moment is it comes with Procreate inking dry ink brush. This gives you such a cool look. I just really like the way it looks. So now the inking stage, I loved it. Apart from putting shadows, this is one of my favorite things to do, the inking. It's just such a great, fun, relaxing part. And you'll see I'll start now adding extra details with the inking. This is where I really sort of start putting in a few extra lines. I'll maybe move things, change things, because my initial lines are purely just a guide as to where I think things should go, but then we change as we go along. Again, just drawing that line, holding down. That's not very good, that one. That's better. Okay, so also there's no sort of order as to where I will decide to ink. It's just wherever the mood doth take me. Again, so just getting those nice. I don't have any tips, I don't think, for smooth lines. I just be confident and quick. And I think a lot of people just go, no, sort of slow, worried about getting that perfect line, and you end up being more jagged. Whereas I'll just come in and boom. Don't like it, undo, do another one until you get what you want. Again, that's the beauty of doing this digitally. You can go over it again and again and again. You don't like it, which I don't really like that at the moment, and you just get rid of it. And sometimes I'll go to something else and I'll come back to that bit when I've had a chance to ink some other stuff, and I'll have a rethink about placement of things. So again, I didn't mess that up. Also, pressure sensitivity is a good one to muck around with. How you want the line to be thicker and thinner in certain spots. It's called line weight for those playing at home. Again, not something I really panic about too much. I probably should. It would make my art. This is the only bad thing about this pen is you get a lot of these gaps that when it comes time to filling in, you're going to have to go around and fix them up. A few lines for where the teeth potentially go. I'm just having a look. Let's finish his mouth off and then we'll see. That's dodgy as, but if we just hold down, bingo bango bongo. Let's give him these on because he's got his mouth wide open. So we have little cheek marks. Okay, again there's a gap there. Let's fill that in now so we don't have to worry about it later. Let's give him some nice hairy side bits. I'm no David Attenborough. hairy side bits. Again, didn't quite get that, but that's right, because Procreate saves us. Procreate, making average artists professionals since whenever it was invented. Okay, these triangles in here. Now I just sometimes will do that for a couple of reasons. And the main reason is so that when I come to colour it, I can just drop the paint in without having to worry too much about it. What about 2 timelines so far? 20 minutes. All right, let's get a move on. I don't want you guys being bored to death. Let's chuck in his little tootsies. Like that. I don't know if I like that. Let's do this one first because I already like him. Look at this one. If I don't say so myself. Okay, that's like that again. I just put in a few extra little creases and stuff where the folds might go. One there. Just adds that sort of look of being a bit rotund. Now his back leg would probably be a bit more like that. If you look at a cat, they've got quite strong hind quarters for their jumping. I'm going through this quite quickly now just because I would like to colour this as well while I've got your attention. I hope I've got your attention. If you've already left, then, well, we'll talk about you later. Razor, first time using this, hey? Let's just clean that up. Get under his belly here. Nice and simple. Let's go back to this foot now. I just think the problem was that toe was probably coming up a bit too much. So let's bring it down. There we go. I think that's better. Alright, now let's do the back. Now what we should be doing here is giving the look of sort of a bit of scruffy fur. So he's not completely flat and round because he is a cat after all. They are covered in fur, most of them, apart from those weird creepy looking ones. They're not weird and creepy, they're wonderful, they're beautiful. They're God's creatures. Yeah, so that's that. Let's quickly just do this tail. Tails are the hardest when it comes to keeping nice lines because that's where Procreate doesn't help you. Like if I do that and try and hold that down, it doesn't work. So you just have to, be better. Unfortunately. Better than I am. That will hold. Bring that round. Okay, like that. There's a gap there. Fill that in. Oops. And fill that in. Let's do the little thingy-mabobby in the mouth there. Excuse me. Now, that tongue is not touching the bottom. I don't usually do bottom teeth. I don't know why. I feel like it's a little, possibly too much. I know cats have teeth, top and bottom, but for some reason in drawing, sometimes they can look a bit much. Especially when you screw up one of the teeth over here and make it so ridiculously tiny, there's no point even having it. What are we doing with this bottom bit in here? We could... Okay, let's... maybe we'll keep it for now, I don't know. We still need to close this up. Okay, now I don't know what I'm doing with these eyes, or I'm going to do the normal cat's eye. Because if I am, I've probably got too many, like this probably doesn't need to be here. But, yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Looks a bit odd. Don't know if maybe we just go... Now what I'll do is I'll put a bit of sheen in these eyes, so you've got a little bit of a reflection, so they're not just jet black. Alright, well that'll do for now. Alright, let's colour this thing quickly. So let's get a new layer, make this the reference. Okay, so that's the reference, new layer underneath. Let's go for our colours. I'm very much, if anyone's seen my work on the Facebook page, I like pastel colours. I think I just like them. Oh, the tea's lukewarm. Yummy. So again, there's no rhyme or reason as to how I choose my colours. Oh, that didn't bleed. Amazing. But I don't like that. I'll tend to just... see, now we've got a gap here. So, there we go, there's a gap there. Now, sometimes you can play with... If you're having... For those who don't know, if you're having the problem where it's going in and... No, it's not now, but if it was leaking out, it's your threshold can be the problem. So undo that. So what you do is you drag the colour on to where you want it to go, but hold the pen down and then just slide it like you would the opacity, and you'll see slowly, at some point, there you go, it'll right itself, like that. Okay, now I like this colour because it works nicely with a sort of pinky watermelon-y sort of colour for the ears. Let's give him nice yellowy eyes, like that. Let's colour the teeth, just normal white. Oops. Be careful as that as well. Sometimes you can drop it onto there and accidentally hit your lines. Let's do that. Teeth, listeth. Then we need some mouth colour. Let's just make it a darker sort of reddy colour. Tongue will be a brighter reddy colour. The mouth hole will be a darker colour. Cool. Now, looks a bit flat. That's alright, actually. What I like to do as well, I like to give my kitty cats... Oh no, see what I did there? I coloured... God, that's annoying. Sorry, bear with me. I didn't change my layer before I coloured the face. That's frustrating. Let's do this quickly now. Mouth colour, tongue colour, teeth colour. I don't know how much editing I'm going to do with this video because I just want to get it up for you. And if I try and go about editing, it's going to take even longer. So I apologise for you having to sit through a lot of this boring stuff. But you get the idea. Not much more to go now. I just want to show you the shading side of things. How we do that. Because again, I don't follow the rules. I'm a rule breaker. It's just, as I was saying previously, I just like to give them... Don't ask me why. I just think it pops nicely. Because a lot of cats have white little muzzles, so I like my cats to have white little muzzles. I also like to give them occasional white paw just to break things up a bit. I think it helps pop. You don't have to be precise about it because at the end of the day, these are cats. Their fur, it's not precise. I just find that too much of the same colour, obviously, is a bit taxing on the brain. So let me break it up a bit, like so. Could maybe give him a little bit on his tail here. Cool, that'll do. Alright, now shading. What I do for shading, let's get rid of the pencil line in the background now. We don't need that. Actually, let's get rid of the sofa. Oh, actually, no, let's leave the sofa. Okay, so new layer. Clipping mask. Now that just means that anything I draw in the cat now, I can go nuts and it won't come out of the cat. So I just go get the colour that we're using. I'll go a nice dark version of that colour, and then I'm just going to put in some shadows. Now a lot of people are very precise about where their shadows go. They go, right, think about where the light is in the room and where it's going to bounce off of, and that's the proper way to do it. I'm not mocking those people. They are right. I am wrong. I just put it where I think it'll look good to have some shadows. So the obvious place is obviously underneath the lip of the mouth, underneath that little eyebrow section. Obviously this paw underneath his head, that would likely pretty much be all in shadow, like so. Then his head would be casting a shadow onto this paw, like this. And I mean, I suppose you could say, okay, where's the light coming from? If the light's coming from, so let's say the light's coming from sort of up this direction, okay, then you'd probably have a bit of shadow in these sections here where the light's not hitting. Again, anyone who's a professional watching this is going to be going, what is this guy doing? Let's get him banned from the internet. He's a nutter. But that's all right. We need a few crazy people in the world. Cool. Oh, yeah, then the ears obviously would be in. Now, what you could do actually, I'm being lazy, is get that colour there and make that dark there. Just to not be lazy. Everything else about my art is lazy. Let's not make that lazy. Alright, chuck that in there like that. We're at 30 minutes. Oh my gosh. This is way too long. Alright, let's drop the opacity. Whoops. Obviously, I'm not finished the shadowing yet. Okay. There we go. Now, let's get back to this colour. I should have stayed on this colour before jumping, but anyway. Alright, now bit of shadowing for the tail. Again, that light, as we said, we don't really care where it's coming from, but if we do care, it's sort of coming from this way. So this part of the tail would be shadow, and then that would be casting a shadow onto his bottom. Also, I use the shadowing to be able to give my cats a bit more depth of their fur, so you can sort of, not like that, it looks like scales. Yeah, you can just sort of, you know, make it a little bit more scruffy. That's a bit of shadowing down here, around here, just making this pop. Again, let's do a bit of shadowing here, like sozies. Okay, now probably a little bit in the cheeks and under the eyes. Let's just be nice and haphazard with it. Again, this is a cat, so his fur is going to be, you know, creating marks and shadows here, there and everywhere. Okay, I'm really rushing through this now because I was not expecting to be this long, this video, so I apologise if people are getting bored. I'm going to wrap this up soon. I'm just now dithering. Okay, I think that'll do. There you go. Now he's floating in midair. I'm a flying cat, everybody. Alright, so let's the important wanky signature. Cat. I hope that didn't bore you. I hope you got something out of it. There's not many lessons to learn, but that just shows you how I draw a cat and how I go about it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed.